Alrighty, traders. So there was a big drop in the markets today across all markets. So I want to give you a bit of an update across what's happening right now across the stock market, gold, and also silver as well too. Also, I'm going to be covering today the one thing you can do, especially right now in the markets, to remove your emotions to get a much more understanding of what's really going on, so you can make much better decisions. Also, I'm going to talk to you about how understanding the two different phases the market goes through allows you to preempt about what's probably likely to come next out of the markets. And also I want to talk to you about a moving average that I use, and how by utilizing this moving average allows me to see when we're likely to get these corrections or pullbacks out of the market. So let's get straight into it, guys. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders. If you do need some help, I'm giving away access to my free Master the Markets trading course. I'm giving away free access to that. If you need that, first link in the description. So let's actually start off with the good old stock market today. So the stock market itself, guys, okay, the big thing about we actually see with the stock market today, we actually had a bit of a drop in the stock market. And we can actually see right now on the Dow Jones, we actually had a bit of a down day today going on through there. Now, when looking at the actual market itself here, this is a really big, interesting point that we need to see about what's going on here and what's happening here. The really big thing that we can see about what's going on here with the Dow Jones and with the stock market right now is, where are we in the market of things? And what I like to do with these markets here is I always like to see what's going on through here. And so therefore what I like to do is I always like to bring this up through to here, right? So this is obviously what's happening in the Dow Jones. Low, higher low, and we're continuing up, and now we're going down through here. So on a market update basis, we're probably likely to spend not much time now, we're likely to spend not a lot of time, should I say. Start again. We're likely to probably not doing much now until the election, probably sideways movement until the election, until we actually start to see probably a nice movement to the upside, right? And so once the election's done, I do see a lot more upside to come. But now looking at what's happening here on the Dow Jones, we're probably going to be going sideways overall, okay? And then we're likely to see moving up. And this is what I see happening across all the indices. So the Nasdaq as well too. Nasdaq had a little down day today, but we're still in a very strong upward trend through here. Very strong low, higher low, where we are right now. So the top's not in, right? This is not the start of a big crash. None of that, right? It is just simply just going with the trend and having a little bit of a drop to the downside. Same for the S&P 500. I do see the S&P 500 maybe coming down a little bit more, but I probably see now we're probably not going to be doing much in the markets. Probably just a lot of volatility up and down, up and down. And then when the election is done, then after the election, we're probably likely to see, I believe we're probably likely to see another really big strong finish to the end of this year. But from now to then, it's probably not going to be too much. We're probably not going to get a big drop. We may get a little downside movement. So we may get like, a 3 or maybe even a 4% drop on the downside overall through this period. But this is just a nice, healthy correction out of the markets, guys, to see what's going on here. And also same for the Russell as well too, right? We're still low, high, low, high, low. We're coming down here sharply through here. This is what the Russell's been doing this entire time, right? King Russell. Now, the reason why for you guys that are new, the reason why I like to say King Russell, because I believe once King Russell really gets going, I believe it's going to make an extraordinary quality move to the upside. And why I say that is because whenever I look at the markets, I've noticed that through my time of my trading career so far, and I actually talk a lot about this in that free trading course, that link in the description there, but I've just noticed that whenever we go through these sideways periods through here, and then we do break out, we start to trend, right? And you can see we went from no trend, and the market sometimes does this, right? We go from no one in control sideways, so then we actually start to see what? Someone in control, or a new trend established at least for a little bit. Then we go sideways, no one in control. When no one in control simply means that there is no trend, right? There is uptrends, there is downtrends, and there's no trend, right? So when they say no one's in control of these markets, what I'm referring to with that is that it's just range bounding it sideways. The buyers are not in a nice upward movement, making high lows, high lows, high lows. The sellers are not making highs, and lower highs, right? So we're not making those periods. So when I say no one in control, I just simply means that the market is just range bounding. The big boys haven't decided what they want to do with it at that point in time. But if we look at Russell right now, what's been happening now, right? We've been doing what? Low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. We're starting to make what? High, low. So the buyers are now starting to come in on this particular market. And it's one of the reasons why I've been saying now for quite some time that King Russell is getting ready for a really, really, really big move soon. Once it does break, especially once we get above this high here, I believe a bit of a slingshot pattern could be in the works from here. Now, let's go look at gold and silver from here, right? So gold and silver. So gold actually had a really nice little drop to the downside today. If we see what actually happened today, right? A nice big drop to the downside, 1% on the downside today. The silver got crushed almost 3% today. But looking at gold, what do we see through here, right? We see a low, we see a higher low, and now we're going through here, right? Now markets come up and now we're pulling back. So on the short-term level basis, guys, what we could see here with gold is that now it looks like we're starting to slowly top out here right now, and we may be going through a little bit of a correction. Now, when I'm always viewing the markets, what you don't want to be doing is you don't want to be saying, oh, okay, correction's going to come when it comes down through here, and then I'm going to buy it here, and then I'm going to sell it up here, and no, okay? What we want to be doing is we want to be identifying what's going on in the markets here, right? So we can see the market went up for a bit, and then went down for a bit. Went up for a bit, we may be getting ready for a bit of a downward movement from here. All right, so a bit of a downward movement all through here. So that's the short-term level there on gold. But if we look at the really big picture on gold, which is this, looking at this weekly chart here, we can see that this weekly chart has been extraordinary move to the upside, and then seeing this really big movement to the upside from here. What it does is that we're now likely to see some sort of a correction out of this. And if you watch my yesterday's update about this here, I talked about gold actually being in a phase where we could be getting ready for a movement on the downside. And the reason why I say that is for you guys that are new to the market, how the markets operate and how the markets move is they go through different phases, right? They go through different phases in the markets. Now, what are those phases, right? So there is the two different phases that I see these markets doing. There is an energy using phase, right? So there's using energy in the markets, and then after a period of time of it using energy, it's going to run out of energy. Now it needs to go to an energy building phase, and you see this time and time again. And then after an energy building phase where we've built a bit more energy up, we've refueled the tank, we're now ready to use that energy to get going again, right? Tesla, right? You ran out of your electricity battery. I gotta go fill up with electricity with Tesla, right? Plug it in, right? Refuel. Now, how does that work in the market sense? And the reason why this is so important for you guys is because you can sort of preempt you can sort of see into the future about what's probably likely going to come soon. You just don't know when. But it's sort of like a crystal ball into the future, right? And what is that? That crystal ball into the future says that there's a high probability that we're likely to get this in the markets. We don't know when, but it's coming, right? Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is this, okay? Whenever I'm looking at any markets, I understand that there is two different phases that these markets go in. Right? There is an energy building phase, right? There is an energy building phase, and there's an energy using phase. An energy using phase is when the market's going up or down. Now, if the market's going strong to the upside, this is what's called energy using phase. It's using energy now, right? Just think about it, right? If you think about it from a fun point of view, for this to keep going up, what happens? The buyers need to keep buying, right? Keep buying it, keep going, keep buying it, keep buying it, keep buying it, keep going, keep buying it, keep buying it. They're using energy, they're using their money. And after a period of time, they're going to run out of money, aren't they? Then they want to start to sell it off, don't they? I've now made all these profits because I've been buying all the way up here. Now, I'm now running out of energy. I'm running out of money. I need to go refill up a bit. And then they start to sell it off, right? Then they start to sell it off and it does something like this, right? They start to sell it off for a little bit here. This is now what? Refilling the bank account. It's now building a lot of energy in the markets. And after it's built a bit of energy now in the markets for a bit of time, it's now ready to now release that energy to go for another move to the upside. And then after a period of time, after we've done the using energy again, we end up maybe even go sideways to build the energy this time. So you can see we go through these different phases here in the markets of what's called energy using and energy building phase. But what is this in a nutshell? This is a low, a high low, and a high low. This is actually what's called a strong upward trend. Okay? So when we're looking at these phases here, and they're looking at these strong upward trend from here, what we're trying to see, okay, what we're trying to see, and what we're trying to get a really good understanding of what's going on with these markets here, is we're trying to see, okay, if you know this here, right, after a period of time, now we don't know the exact high, no one can predict the exact high, but we can see, okay, we've done a lot of energy using for a while. We've been using a lot of energy for a while. Therefore, if that's the case, we know we're going to go through an energy building phase. What is an energy building phase? When the market has a bit of a correction, bit of a pullback against the trend, and we go through these phases through here, right? We start to go through these phases here and these phases here. Because after a period of time of having spent to the upside, we've now run out of energy. And that's how you see what the market does, right? Overall, we see it go up for a bit, and then it goes sideways, then it goes up, and then it goes sideways, and we go up, 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 and now we go sideways. As you can see, look at this here. Energy building phase, we have a big move, energy using phase, and then energy building phase. See this here, energy using phase, and after a period of energy, we go to energy building, and then the energy using phase, and then now we're going through energy building, and now we're going through an energy using phase. So in a strong upward trend, we know it goes from energy using, and after a period of energy using, we know that it's going to run out of energy soon, so we need to go through an energy building phase, right? So what does that simply mean? So on the back of what I just said there, we're probably going to spend now a bit of time going through an energy building phase. Now, what is an energy building phase? It could be either sideways, right? If the trend is up, if the trend's up, we can get either a bit of actually a drop to the downside like here, 50% retracement. We can go up and we can go slow down like here. We can go up and we could even go sideways for a bit and before we continue. These are the three different energy building phases that tend to happen. And as you can see, these last couple of times, looking at this weekly chart has been what? This weekly chart has been after a period of time, after a period of energy, we go for energy building. Using energy, energy building. We've now used a lot of energy. So if there was a massive probability of something coming soon, again, we don't know when, what would that be? Would that be now an energy using phase? No. Why? Because we've been in an energy using phase for about 4 or 5 months. There's a high probability now we're going to start to go into real soon. We don't know it's going to be today or tomorrow or next week, but we're getting ready for what phase to come? The energy building phase. And when that happens, if we do start to see, this here on a big drop on the downside or slow on the downside or sideways, we are expecting that to come. Why? Because it's how markets work. You're seeing this firsthand here. Now, this gets also really, really, really powerful because why? There's a few things here. The first scenario is that therefore we don't want to be getting in up here. We don't want to be trying to buy up here, trying to capture that last little bit. When do we want to get in? We want to get in right here when the market's gone through energy building. We want to get in right here, right? Energy building, and we're just now going through here. So it helps you stay out of bad trades where the market's now likely to go through a bit of a correction. And then also what it does, it also helps you understand, what sort of phase we're actually in right now. But also, this also helps you understand that even though if the market does go down from here for the next few weeks, it doesn't mean that the trend is over. It's just that's what trend analysis does, right? You can see it goes through. A trend is lows, higher lows, and higher lows, right? We know that. So if we go to, right, low, higher low, higher low. That's the first rule, trend analysis there, okay? But within how the trend is actually formed, it goes through the energy building phase and then an energy using phase. We know that, right? If you know, we know what the trend is, but now let's get a deeper look into the trend analysis. And a deeper look into the trend analysis is what? The deeper look into the trend analysis is indeed when that's what it does, right? We go up for a bit. You're seeing what's been happening here with gold. Energy using phase, and then we go through an energy building phase. We don't know when the energy using phase is going to end and the energy building phase is going to start, but we can start to see, okay, if it has been using a lot of energy, aka the last 6 months of gold, then we've been using a lot of energy now for quite some time overall. There's a high probability very soon we're going to start to go into an energy building phase. So if it does go down a little bit, we have a bit of a correction, a bit of a pullback, we are expecting that, aren't we? So therefore, we're not freaked out. And this here is how you stay calm when everyone else is freaking out in the markets, right? Because you're just understanding that this here, if the market did start to go down here like this, you know it's just an overall big bull market in the markets from here. Make sense, guys? So that's what I really want to sort of focus you on there when it comes to these markets and when it comes to here, and even for silver, right? Silver, energy building phase, energy using phase, energy building phase, energy using phase, right? And we start to see this. There's a lot of things I can teach you, like about the moving averages and stuff like that as well. But one of the really big things are also, actually, you know what? One of the big things I always like to use. Remember I said before in today's video that we go through the phases, right? We go through an energy building phase first, right? So we go through an energy using phase, and then after a period of energy using phase, we're going to go through an energy building phase, right? There is some sort of sign to say that we're getting very, very close to the end of this energy using phase, and we're getting very, very close to going through one of these energy building phases. Energy, and what is that? I like to use the moving average, either 52 on the daily charts or a 24 on the daily charts. And what I like to see here is, as you can see here, if we just look at these last couple of times, you can see that when we do go through these energy using phases, that when it gets too far away from the moving average, we've now used too much energy. We're now probably going to go through what? We're now probably going to go through an energy building phase. And then that energy building phase may go into a bit of an extended sideways period like this here, or it may not, right? But utilizing different phases. When we go through an energy building phase through here, if we get too far away from the moving average, we can see we start to go through what? An energy building phase. So, and now we can see we've gone through an energy building, using phase here, and we can see how far away it is from the moving average. We don't know the exact high. We can never predict the exact top, guys, right? So it's not, when's the exact day the market's going to go down? No one knows that. So stop asking the wrong questions. All we need to know is that over the next few weeks, we're not going to be surprised if we start to see gold go through an energy building phase, right? It's not just going to keep going up. If it does keep going up, we may keep going up for another few more weeks, right? But in the back of, if we did something like this next week and the week after like that, right? We still have in the back of our mind what? We're so far away from the moving average. We've been going up all this time, which is an energy building phase. We know in the back of our mind that it's just going to come a point in time soon when the energy building phase starts. And then we start to get a really big correction. And most people who are not understanding what I'm teaching here right now are going to freak out because they think that they think it's all over from here. And oh my goodness, it's all done and it's all over from here. And then all that simply means is what? What does that simply mean? It simply means if we do go through an energy building phase and then we pick back up, all that is what? Up, down, higher, low, up, down, higher, low, up, down, higher, low. So what I'm doing right now with you is I'm walking you through not just trend analysis, but the overall much more ingredient, in-depth look about how trends are actually formed by utilizing the energy using phases and building phases, the moving average to see how far away we are from the moving average. And if that's the case, we've used a lot of energy. We're probably going to go through an energy building phase. And when that happens, we start to get a pull back to the moving average, a pull back to the moving average, a pull back to the moving average, a pull back to the moving average. When we start to go through these energy building phases, right? So this is a much more deeper, really good close look about these markets here, and we can see that all this through here, and the same for silver, right? Silver right now is probably, we've actually started to break up through here. So even if silver does actually have a bit of a down day, a bit of a down movement from here, right? We can see here silver's actually just broken out here. The trend is still up, right? And even on a short-term level basis, look at this here. Up and then down and up and then down and up, and it may even go through a down phase through here for a bit and before we go up again. Right? You can see this is what markets do, right? They never just go straight up. And so just by understanding this, the reason why this is so powerful is because it allows you to not be shocked when we do go through an energy building phase, which could be what? A nice drop here in silver, right? A nice drop here, a nice drop. We're not surprised by this because we actually start to see this coming in a big way in the markets.